solventless.com, man. Back on the beat. RMR podcast. I don't know what episode it is, but this is the most special episode ever because it's the one we doing right now today. It's with the homie Jase of
What's good?
Mountain Man Melts, Green Dog, Turtle Pie. Now today's a Mountain Man Melts combo. We'll touch base on the other brands a little bit today. We'll talk about them in greater detail down the road on future eps. But for right now, man, it's all about Mountain Man Melts.
Let's go, baby.
Rosin, the good. Man, Jase, welcome to the show. It's good to have you, bro. Familia tapping in, bro. How we doing?
I'm fantastic, bro. Any day I could wake up and have this feeling of knowing what my why is these days. It's beautiful.
We're not flipping German burgers and brats anymore, dog. And I'm not having to drive my ex-girlfriend to work every day and pick her up either. So we out here, you know what I'm saying? Growth. Dude, it's been 5 years.
5 years, half a decade, bro.
Fucking 2020.
Half a decade, yep.
Congratulations on all your growth and success, my man. When I think of you, I'm proud. The amount of love that you show me and respect that you give me every single time I see you, and when I talk to people that know you, they always have the best things to say about you, and they always reiterate what you say about me. And for that, knowing how spicy I am and how competitive I am, knowing that you know me and that and heart to heart and man to man and bro to bro, and that way it definitely makes me feel good because you and I invested into each other, bro. We spent time and energy and we did things. You still got articles on the site. You got videos up of me and reviews.
Yeah.
We were just talking about selling in San Diego and selling in LA and your first role, your real role in cannabis outside of us over there with Amber Valley. And just your journey, bro, it's just been a classic case of tearing that shit down and going from not knowing what we're doing, but we're passionate.
Yeah.
Let's go, man. We on a journey. We on the mission. We really grinding. You're slanging rosin and packs and all this great stuff. And so I don't have a hat on, but my hat's off to you, bro, for just the effort and the grind because you can do it. You can make it. And you are proof of it to everybody. And so big shout out to you, Jase. For those of the people that don't know you, don't know what you do, don't know what Mountain Man Melts is, obviously I just said rosin, but what do you do with Mountain Man Melts and what does the company do overall, Jase?
I do a lot of our business development at this point. Mostly started with sales and marketing, but at this point, it's pretty fucking blown up to where we're scaling, we're expanding, and new roles need to be kind of taken over. But Mountain Man Melts, we're single source rosin. We're a legacy owned and operated company coming up from Trinity County, one of the three counties in the Emerald Triangle. We've just been doing it for a while, man. I've been lucky enough to be with the gang for 3 years. I was a part of the original launch to Rec Market. I was one of their first sales reps. Before that, I've known Mountain Man Melts since about 2018, not 2019. A lot of his products were making circa around like OC.
This is what you were buying when you were telling me about those trap rosins back in the day when we first met.
Mm-hmm. That was some of the few brands making its way down, touching like North County, San Diego. And
yeah.
That's where getting it over there. But dude, the biggest thing for me, bro, is Mountain Man Melts is a brand that I believe in. And I think one of the things I've been blessed with in this rec space has been able to work with people that I truly, truly fuck with and believe with and don't work for them because the paycheck, right? It's full-hearted right here. And the money's just what comes after,
Yeah, I mean, at least in California, if you do this long enough and you get into sales and you meet the right people, you're gonna get an opportunity for a bag. There's gonna be a store or a chain or something if you stay persistent. It's just a matter of all the other details we were talking about offline. Company culture, accountability, communication, discipline, loyalty, and I'd say more importantly than all those, but maybe not in business, but at least respect for your team and who's paying the bills. Mountain Man Melts, though, the strain that I have right here, you told me a unique story about these Halloween theme strains.
Mm-hmm.
About how you were driving up and curating things and finding some of the farm partners and helping to find the right materials and stuff. This one here is called Ghoul's Gas. Now, obviously, there's not a strain called Ghoul's Gas, so this one's going to be a themed, fun, seasonal one here. But it does say Gaia Gardens, right? And so you guys do a combination of regular, real, normal strains. Then I see you guys collab, and then I see these seasonals. talk me through your guys' branding and products and this curation of strains. Because if you're a business dev, I remember you telling me that you were looking through Fresh Frozen and helping out in some of that process. I don't know if that's all you or if that's the team or how that works, but help us understand, how does Mountain Man Melts come up with all this good stuff?
So Gaia Gardens is the name of our gardens. Again, we're single source, meaning that the material that goes into our rosin is grown by us.
All from you guys.
Yeah. Okay. So the most important part, as you know, Joey, is this is how we're going to have quality control, consistency over quality. We're not competing with other extractors for the material. Yeah. Dude, when I got to the company, I think we had maybe like 3 farms. I think now we're up to 7. And the big reason why is outside of the demand for our rosin, bro. For me, it's like we talked about. As an established brand, like what was one thing I would always hear coming up, bringing Mountain Man Melts into stores was, and I'm gonna name drop because it's no hate towards them. It's actually benefit to them. Is you hear be like, oh yeah, I'm getting kind of tired of 710 Labs. Like, okay. They're established brand, and the reason why you're getting tired of it is because they've established themselves in the market, and that you're just an internet kid that is just, I need flips, I need quick stuff. I'm satisfied by this. What's the next thing?
Oh, this recent pair of Jordans, yes. It's boring to me now. Oh, I dabbed too much Percy rosin, Jase. $150 a gram. It's nothing.
Yes, and so basically what I took from that was early on was when you get to this, be ready for it. And so becoming business development was basically the idea of like, okay, well, this kid seems to be very much in the scene, always at the events, talking to people on IG, talking to people across the world, what terps are what. Like, I love this shit. Like, you and I talk about, like, and I was talking with one of my mentors last night. If the camera was fucking off, I'd still do the crazy shit that I do on camera because I love it. And so,
low-key, you're kind of one of those kids too, the same guy.
Yeah. Yeah. So, it got to a point where I was like, well, hey, we harvest once a year. It's outdoor flower, so what we harvest is what we get. What can we do once it gets to month 6 and we've shown all our cards? What are we going to do for the latter half of the year? One of the conversations I had was, I'm a firm believer in mixing rosin. I have kids who will talk to me all the time like, oh, well, why would you mix it? Why would you just grow it? Okay, logistically speaking.
You made it wait 3 years to get you your watermelon Z sorbet
outdoor, garlic? Especially if we're outdoor, I got one shot, bro. It would be one thing if we had the space to do an indoor run, a mixed light run or something like that. Now we do. But at the time being, I was like, how can we do this? How can we keep it fresh? Well, if I have 2 strains that give me everything I want from both those flavors, right, I'm going to save the time and just do the mix because the results are the same. And
yeah, I'll take a blueberry papaya if you got less blueberry and unlimited papayas. You know what I mean?
Well, I mean, come on, right, exactly. And so that was just my first concept. But then as I dove deep into that, again, nerding out on that shit, was in my head, I think of it as like you know what color theory is?
Of course.
Right. So same thing, terp theory. The same idea, spectrums of different notes and things like that when they interact with each other, depending on the certain levels of each other, what's going to accentuate what's going to cancel what. An example would be, bro, we just entered the Proper Doinks competition. And since they're naming strains, I don't mind saying which strains we were thinking about. We were in between our Skittles and our Champagne. Both very loud, very good mouth coats, all that jazz. When we were like, okay, well, we can't decide. What if we mix? The mix was ass. It canceled off everything that was good about both of them, and it had a muted flavor over it. So it doesn't always work, but the idea is the same as color theory, which is, you have this wide palette of flavors and the world is your oyster at that point. As long as you're exploring your R&D and your QC and everything, you really cannot go wrong. And again, I do this. I love this. I'm always tasting shit. I literally just spent like $1,000 on West Coast Alchemy yesterday, just because there was flavors I was excited about, right? Like, I know what's good and what's not good, and whether or not people agree with my opinion, I know I've done the work,
And again, we're talking about curating for audiences. So for those of you guys watching, if you don't like the flavors that they're curating, there are plenty of other brands, and you get to choose where you spend your money. And I promise you will be back to Mountain Man Melts.
And we pay attention. So if you're posting it and saying it, I'm never like, oh, fuck them, they don't know what they're talking about. I'm going to be like, yo, what didn't you like about it? I want to know. you know.
Well, weed is different for all of us. So those
Mhm.
muted flavors may not be muted to somebody else, right?
Oh yeah.
Or some kind of note or an effect or mouth feel or whatever, mouth coat, whatever the word is. It could really realistically be different for everybody, right?
Yeah.
Rig to rig, temperature to temperature, right? How they
Yeah.
store it. There's a lot of different variables that go into it. And ultimately, I think, like in my personal opinion, rosin people are kind of similar to flower people. We're flavor chasing, but it has to meet a quality criterion
Yeah.
of like we know. Like in rosin, you're looking for A, B, C, D, E, and F. And in flower, you might look for A, B, C, D, but maybe F doesn't matter as much because it's not being pressed, right? And
Yeah.
so how you store it or this or that necessarily doesn't make it apply as much to a flower situation as it may be for concentrates.
Yeah.
For you guys, I know you were talking about the other brands making other products and getting into that. What are all the different SKUs right now for Mountain Man Mills? Is it just 1 gram rosins, or are there anything else?
No, we literally just this week at stores on the rec market we had our vape carts available. So we've been working literally all year on getting the right, gear, and getting the right, SOPs for how we're decarbing,
Mm-hmm.
and everything like that. So we just had launched our first set on the rec now, and we're going to work on a tier 2 rosin brand, not to piggyback on a Mountain Man Melts, but more of like I think we talked about this, which is the 1 grams are our premier product. That is one thing that I'm very passionate about. That is one thing I'm notorious for, is I don't want to move price point. This is priced, I think, reasonably, and we did our market research and to price it this way. If you need something that's a little cheaper and it's based off of reasons of just price point, this would be the other product. And
Well, yeah, there are definitely buyers out there, Jase, that are sick of buying, and I love these two brands, and I'll shout them out because they deserve it, and we're being transparent. Bear Labs and Punch are the best when it comes to mid-level, mid-tier rosin, hands down. They
yeah,
have the most options and the most variety. Those two companies. I think Calia Community.
Community is
Yeah,
their
right.
second tier, and then
That one, but that doesn't have nearly as much diversity as both Punch and Bears. Probably, tier 2,
yeah,
tier 3,
yeah,
whatever it is. Right.
yeah.
It's they're better, right? Because it's Calia and it's like
That's the
it's like
yeah,
a
that's
tier one and
the
a half, tier
the
two.
trade off. Yeah, the
Yeah,
trade
yeah.
off.
But
Yeah,
that's the thing is, it's like we want those options. Again, it goes back to flavor chasing. I want to try, and I want to hear your remix on the same beat that Lil Wayne spit on. You know what I'm saying? I
yeah,
want to
yeah,
hear your remix on Purple Punch, Papaya, GMO, the orangey stuff. We want to try it all. We want to see what variations are. And guess what else? I just want to be able to stack it up in my fridge or put it in my bag. Sometimes it's just a matter of flexing. And Mountain Man is one of those brands in Cali where you got to have it in the stash. It's definitely important to for everybody to recognize that here in California, here in Southern California too, where it's heady and this and all that. I'm so tired of all the different. Oh, you don't know what you're talking about or hype this. Nah, man, the shit's fucking good, and they care a lot about it. And it comes from a region and a terroir where all that stuff matters and plays into it. So if you
yeah,
give a fuck about that stuff, it applies to Mountain Man. If you
yeah,
want hype stuff too, they got those strains. Just don't need to sit here and throw money at strippers and fucking influencers to get your brand co-signed. Bruh, it's co-signed. This guy Jase has been in 1,000 stores across a couple states and talks to rosin people on the daily, the headiest of the headiest, all the way to first-time consumers trying to get into concentrates, which is still happening every day.
yeah, yeah.
Right?
And I want to go back to the beginning of what you're saying, because I do have to give you your flowers. Um, you are who you are because you know what it takes, and um, you know, a, it, a lot of I'm learning this more as I get with these newer kids and these younger kids who haven't had gone through the fire yet. That like, you know, um, let me give you an example. Frank Castillo, one of my best friends, stand-up comedian, he says it all the time. You can't be successful without bombing. You can't. You have to go through it. It's a process to understand, to experience certain things in order to know what you want and don't want to be. And you were very much on a like, this is what it takes. Being outside, talking with everybody, doing your research. The way I talk about endocannabinoid system, you think I'd be fine without you being like, yo, bro, you just
Because
have to do your
there
due
ain't nobody
diligence.
else pushing it that
There's
hard.
no one else. and it's still so fucking new. And like that was like as I got into the stores and started meeting people, understanding that and kind of like embracing that more, I was understanding it's like, okay, well, like not only do you already not know more than a lot of other people, there's a lot of people who still know more than you. So just keep going and keep going on site, keep shaking hands and keep being inspired, bro. And like, to be honest, on my toughest days where I'm getting out every 30 minutes of the car because my back or my sciatic is crushing, bro, like it makes those inspirational moments, like make those times easier, bro. And again, like,
well, that end, you do have great rosin to help with the pain.
Yes, exactly.
And distract from the pain because we are getting old no matter what.
Yeah, exactly. But like,
this guy's like, I got the LeBron injury right now, man. I just came back, first game back, like.
Yeah, exactly, bro. So I do want to put, make sure we make note of that. A lot of the success for Mountain Man Melts has been quote unquote field marketing research, meaning just me being out there and getting a temperature check on what's going on and kind of just having an intuition at this point to be like, this feels like, without even sometimes having to do the research, being like, yo, this feels like the move, right? Like my whole thing with the mixes, we had been doing mixes at Mountain Man Melts, but the biggest difference was we didn't have intention in it, right? And the other part is when I say Dabo Lantern or Ghoul's Gas, the kid's not going like, what the fuck is that? They're gonna go, that sounds sick. Let me find out more about that. And so the context of how they're wanting to learn more about it is different. Now, again, it's inspiring. It's making them be curious versus like questionable. Like what the, like,
I like curating these flavors and strains. I like naming them based on what makes sense for the audience. These are products. And rosin heads, flower heads, the living soil crowd, the outdoor sun grown purists. I won't say they're all radicals because that's rude. I know these people. I know a lot of these people. They're not radicals by any means. That sounds crazy. But when you are purist and then project that onto other people, it's tough for me because we get to decide what we want, man. Like, I am who I am. I like basketball. Does that mean I'm going to wear basketball shoes every day? Well, maybe, if that's what I want. If I want rosin that's indoor every day, then I'll do that. But if I have the other options and someone is able to penetrate just my sphere, like what my world, and get into my bubble, and somehow they're like, yo, this is just as good. And maybe this one actually is better because I've tried it, right? I've tried both. I wanted to know. When those people can be on both sides of that and really bring me from one side to the other, I don't have to live over there in that world of outdoor all the time or indoor only or soil grown this or living organic. Bro, I don't care about most of that. Do you know why? Because I wake up sick and I smoke weed to not feel sick.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? It doesn't. Everything else after that is secondary. Price, THC percentage. Bro, there's weed that makes me feel worse, bro. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Like, there is actual weed that does not make me feel better. And that is crazy when you think about it, and you know me, I'm a champion of this. I'm talking to strangers about what I do and proud to wear the badge of cannabis and this industry and helping people. But some of these products make me more sick. Like, Jase, do you know that I don't actually dab at night anymore? I got kidney issues. I can't be dabbing high concentrations or smoking super potent flower and then fasting and having my kidneys struggle for 6 to 8 hours. There's nothing against weed. That's a Joey thing, right?
Yeah.
So, it's like we all have our things. We got to respect each other's spaces and boundaries and reasons for why we choose to use the plant and reasons for why we like certain things. Now, this right here, this dab tool is from my homie. He left it. I'm sorry. I stole it from him on accident at the network show. I haven't seen him since. Shit. So we're going to shout him out and we're going to use his dab tool right now. Big, nice, fat dab of Mountain Man Melts, folks.
And viewers, just know he's doing this for me. That's how much this man loves me. I love this guy.
I do dab, folks, but I do not dab every day.
Yeah.
Or I do not go spend money on extremely fancy dabs. I will buy a gram of dabs from the homies for 50 to 60 a gram if I know that they really care about it, if they know that it's a drop, if they know that Joey will try this out kind of thing. The reason why I'll do that, Jase, is because I will dab it and I'm gonna roll it into a hash roll. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. No. And back to what you literally just said right now. One big factor for Mountain Man Milk's success is like, yeah, man, like trust is a big factor in this. When someone is purchasing, let's say I'm getting service from a locksmith to fix a lock. It's not necessarily just the lock he's fixing, right? It's also this like sense of security I'm getting.
Yeah.
Right.
And convenience, the quickness, and
And
potentially insured. He's an insured business company.
and if he's doing it correctly, he's not pitching that he can fix your lock.
Yeah.
He's pitching all the things that he can make you feel better about, the things that you're concerned about. And one big thing is like, can we trust these products? One big factor to me in this space, my reputation is the fact that like, if I cannot smoke you, if I am not excited about you, I literally cannot sell you. I can't fake the funk. All my passion is from actual real shit. Like, I love this shit.
That's a dangerous habit though, Jase, because that means some strains that are maybe some products you may not be in love with, they're not gonna get the same amount of love.
1000%.
And that's a dangerous slippery slope. But that bud tenders fall into that, and that's when product and inventory can sometimes.
Yeah, no, you're not wrong, but that's just a portion of it, right? Like the other portion is learning how to talk about your products correctly too, right? So, this flavor might not be my jam, but let me tell you everything that's good about it. That's someone.
Of course. Now, you are a great orator. He's also a great singer, folks, let me tell you. But in terms of talking about cannabis, it's important because we can't sit here, and especially when we're selling, we can't sit here and downplay a product that we're trying to sell and get forward progress on, revenue on, things like that. We got to be positive.
At the end of the day, my job is sales.
Tell me about a strain. Tell me about a strain that you don't like and sell me on it, Jase. I got one for you because I hate GMOs, so this is easy for me.
Okay, well, I'm the opposite. So, we just got this strain in from Green Dog. We call it Classic Jack. Obviously, it's a Jack Herrera. These terps normally just they make me go haywire. I sweat like I'm drinking too much caffeine type of vibe. But that's because for me personally, I gravitate towards more indica strains. Those ones are gonna relax my body. I have chronic pain. That's more of what I need from cannabis. If someone needs a stimulant, if someone needs a pick me up, this Jack would really be their thing. And if you ask me, this is probably the cleanest Jack that I've experienced. It's good enough to where I'm willing to smoke it, and I will not smoke Jack. But
that's one of my favorite lines. It's good enough that where I won't use it. I don't normally use it, but all of a sudden I like this one and I use it. That's one of my favorite cannabis sales lines, I have to say.
I'm literally smoking a Jack hash hole last night on my way home.
Which I was like, I need to we would normally never smoke a Jack hash hole. Think about how lucky you are. When that Jack hash hole will last you 2 to 3 years until the next time you randomly have a hash hole. But I'll also challenge all the growers, all the people, you biz dev curators out there, guys, we want to see hash holes and fun flavors, and you don't always have to sell them at the stores. Can you guys just start incorporating them into the experiences of your product? You guys got to understand. You guys want to win somebody to follow you, subscribe to your newsletter, subscribe to your YouTube channel, and go buy your weed. Get them higher than they've ever been before with something so delicious, but don't get them blasted off because you only have gassy shit. Have the shit that's like, yo, do you normally like to smoke rosin? Do you normally smoke heavy, super potent flower? No, I'm more of a sativa smoker. I like to be creative. Cool. Well, I've got these 0.75 little infused hash hole joints for you, and we actually have one that's super euphoric, and it's orangey, and it's got a Jack in it as well. It's gonna kind of be like taking a shot of some energy. But for somebody that likes sativas, this would be the most potent, clean version of anything you could ever have from a flower times rosin standpoint. Live resin, not as clean as rosin. Well, that's differently. Live resin, differently clean, different situation entirely.
Yeah, you're gonna piss off some BHO.
I know. I have to be correct. There's the
fucking. I'll even say it for the record, right? Fire BHO.
Some people would say that the BHO is technically cleaner than the rosin.
No. And I was just about to say I'm in agreement to that. Mark from Cali and I talk about that by technicality, right? It's colder. It gets cold enough to it kills everything. Okay, everybody wants to say rosin and the press and all that. Like, heat's not what's going to kill it. There's still bacteria that lives at certain heat.
Lots of organic matter in that.
Freezing is the only fucking way. So the reality is, yes, guys, BHO technically might be.
And there's great BHO. Come on, bro. When you and I met, not to say buddies never had great BHO by any means, any great live resin, but it was terpy. We had great terpy shit.
It was terpy.
Right?
And bro, when you found me, I was still going to like 420. You know what I mean? I was still going to the trap events and still buying fire BHO.
Sugar diamonds and wax and crumbles.
Yeah. Yeah. I want to say I kept a jar in my desk somewhere from that time.
What's funny is I recently just threw some of that stuff out away because I thought, this is probably like radioactive by now.
I don't have any more of it, but if I ever run into them again, what is this?
Oh, you know what? I do have something. Look.
Freedom Farms, 661 Freedom Farms.
Remember these kind of packages, the little rubber ones?
Yeah.
Wow, look at that. Okay, are you ready for? Okay, so this actually isn't what I used to put in this, but this is some rosin that we pressed in 2021. Remember when I was growing Blue Dream a couple years ago?
Yeah. Oh my god, that's some flower rosin right there.
Come on, dog. You know what I'm saying? We out here, man. You know what? We're gonna have to bust this out and like, oh my god, it still smells like Blue Dream. This is crazy on the inside. Funny. That is so funny. Yeah, this is at least 4 years old right here.
That's so fucking
some
funny,
real
bro.
cured resin Blue Dream rosin. That's funny. That's fucking real. I love that. Okay, so back to the original line of questions here. We've got to know you a little bit. We've got to know the brand a little bit, the product variety. On here, it says TC. Is that the Trinity County? Is that what that stands for?
Yeah, that's for Trinity County.
I always wonder what that was, and I was just taking a guess there as well. Okay, now, rosin. Educate the people on basic rosin. Obviously, there's lots of articles out there about what to do and how to do it. But for you guys, break down the quick process. What's a day look like for you guys, start to finish? Mountain Man melts. You guys are making rosin that day, packaging, start to finish. What is it like? What does that look like for you guys?
So, I mean, we have our lockers filled up with our fresh rosin. So, again, we harvest once a year. So, anywhere from, I believe, to
just a ton of
August to
big ass freezers.
October. We use like C trains basically and hook up generators and put AC units to it basically, and then that's where we store all of it. And then we're gonna pull from there for the day. We take it to the lab. We have Ospreys, the washing machines that we use. We have 3 giant ones in ours. So we'll dump into 3 of them. If we're doing mixes, we usually like to dump the strains together.
Yep.
Type of thing.
Is it a ratio? Are we eyeballing it? Are we doing X amount of pounds? What is that?
Ratio. So what I'll do is I'll typically mix a total of 2 grams, and I'll just always start at half and half. So it's just to start somewhere.
But you'll wash these 2 strains separately and get 2 end products, and then come back and mix them.
Yeah, exactly.
Cool.
Right. So it'll be like 1 gram of Moroccan peaches and 1 gram of like our papaya, right?
Yeah.
And I'll just work it down and be like, okay, what am I tasting here? Am I tasting 2 separate notes? Am I getting a combined note? What am I tasting too much of? What am I tasting too little of?
Bro, I want to be a part of this with you. I'd love to be able to blind taste test on this and just write down notes of that stuff.
You say that, and then you're like, 16 dabs in, and you're like, and 5 of those dabs is on one mix you're still working on. You're like, fuck, please just let this one be it.
It's with the right electrolyte drink and beverage, green juice and a mango for lunch, I think I could make it. Only because I did 13 dabs back to back in New York in 24 with the MFNY live resin that they have.
Yeah.
Really good stuff for what it is. And just doing that many back to back within that hour and a half that I was there just gives me confidence in my ability to do this with you guys. If you would let me know the official place to drop my resume, I'd love to submit.
Okay.
But no, that continue, please. I don't mean to talk.
And no, you're good. So that's basically how we do that. So we'll wash it up. Once we wash, we'll pull the bags from there. Right, we'll sift through the different U's. And then we'll scoop what we got, put them on our trays, put them in the freeze dryers, let them dry out. And once those guys are nice and dry, we'll go ahead and pull them. We'll sift through them to make them fine again, and then we'll go ahead and put them in press bags and run them through our presses.
There it is.
From there, they go into our bulks, our just big masons, and we let them cure. And then from there, we whip and package.
Whip and package?
Mm-hmm.
How different is that from a whip and nay-nay?
A whip and whip and nay-nay. I think it might satisfy your soul just a little bit more than a whip and package. Now, whip, package, and dab, that's competitive with a whip nay-nay.
You're such a fool. I'm glad you got onto that. You're okay. So let me give everybody the real. I'm talking shit and I'm goofy now because I'm high. Now the weed that I smoked was something from Cam that I had yesterday, but that Ghoul's gas and second dabs up right now. Definitely was a head changer. I'm getting this really nice sweet floral pininess.
Yeah,
almost like rosemary, and like it's weird. Just like I'm getting butter. And like not like meaty steak, but I'm getting like potato butter rosemary vibes on this one.
Yeah, dude. I miss how you talk about weed. I always say that when like people are like, yeah, I don't know how to talk about weed. I'm like, bro, Joey would just tell me just say whatever. There's no right or wrong. It's what you fucking taste. And eventually you'll start knowing it better and understanding, and really at some point it just becomes what vocabulary is consistent.
But not anybody can be good at it. You have to be cultured, Jase. You got to know.
That's fair.
You got to know what the inside of a box of cereal that's this weird flavor and smells like. You got to know what Free Sun matters. Yeah. Pacific Cooler. You know what I mean? Like
so like so what it was asking, like, dude, why do you like they're like, I don't know Sugar Magnolia. Well, why do you like him so much? Like, I always see you posting or talking about him. I'm like, oh, bro put out this strain called strawberry yogurt. And they're like, okay, so it's strawberry yogurt. I was like, no, it was a baby that ate strawberry yogurt and then puked it up. That's what it was. And they're like, how the fuck do you know? I was like, I've smelt it, and I'm assuming this taste is what that smell is. And usually anything I fucking hate in real life is fire in a dab.
Oh, man.
If a dab tastes like bad breath plaque, I don't know why I want it. So when you say you hate GMO, I'm like, oh.
Okay, so some of the worst smells in regular life oddly cross over into cannabis.
Yeah.
One of them, cat piss.
Mm-hmm.
The other one, dog shit. I've smelled the dog shit strain before. Crazy.
Yeah.
Those baby poo barf ones you're talking about, those ones those ones exist. Gross.
Like literally, I hate like I'm so offended when someone has bad breath. I literally, whenever we do events, I have gum on me for my team, and
you do offer me gum when I see you.
They do. They know now that like I tell them like at the beginning I was like, by the way, I'm gonna offer you gum if your breath stinks. Don't get offended. It's just we're talking to people, and if my breath stinks, I need you to tell me. Like that's all it is. Like I can't stand it, but I will dab the fuck out of bad breath. I will smack.
Okay, so on the breath conversation right now, a lot of strains get washed better. That's the reality, and then they get turned into rosin.
Yeah.
Breath strains are one of them. Mm-hmm. The GMOs, the hash burgers, the peanut butter breaths, the grandpa breaths, the grandma's breath, what all these breaths.
Yeah.
And then there's a variety of fruity strains that also wash well. Can you talk to people about some of these flavor families that wash well in strains for the product?
Yeah. So, I mean, GMO. I mean, a lot of the things you were saying too kind of come from like that GMO. You know, like the hash burger. I believe the breaths are. Let me see what this. I forget what the strains are on the peanut butter breath and shit like that. Yeah, like dosey dos. Those have been a lot more in washers and shit like that. So, for the GMOs, that's going to be this like garlic, funky. GMO stands for garlic, mushroom, onions. Yep. So it's just kind of like this offensive like foot garlic odor in your mouth. And when you say hash burger, that comes from the Donny burger. Mm-hmm. And Donnie Burger is who's that guy? That's California's no.
That Donnie Burger ended up being a pretty classic set of like a classic strain in itself, and then creating these other ones, and people really fell in
Yeah,
love with all those.
it,
It's
it,
kind
it
of they use that phrase meaty, but it's almost to me. I use the phrase gritty when I think about the taste of that stuff. Hey, sorry guys, I'm on a podcast right now. It's for work. I'm sorry, I have to finish. Give me 5 minutes, please. Thank you. Gotta let me know. Come on. Sorry about that, everybody. Orchid Man's here, live on the episode here right now. We'll go finish this episode up in the next 5 minutes, though.
All good.
Like I said, the Donnie Burger ones really created interesting grittiness for me when I think about the smoke with the flower. It's like the GMO meets OG in a way.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I'm pretty sure that's what it is. I'm sorry, I'm confused.
Or like OG Kush Breath, maybe something along those lines like that.
GMO with Han Solo Burger. Solo Burger. This is all stemming from California Seed Bank out of Orange County. And it's most of the time at the beginning of like the strains that kind of carry a foundation into these other strains is mostly because it had insane flavor and it dumped, so like GMO is one that we see that goes over and over again. We have the Fatso strain, one of like for Mountain Man Melts that was like a staple strain until he got robbed in a raid, RIP. But a lot of strains have come from GMO that crush you think about like OGZs and things like that, and then peanut butter, like the breaths. I believe that's what like Starburst 36 comes from is one of the breaths. And
it gives some of these fruity ones these edges, this grittiness that really provides people the high that they're looking for, but without being
and also because the flavor, and also in flavor, it's just so much more robust. I think if there's anything that sticks with me, like with my soul for life from a strain, is going to be not if it tastes good and clean and whatever, but if it's a fucking journey in flavor, right? You start here, as you keep hitting it ends up here, and then on the mouth coat exhale, aftertaste, it's here. And that, like, this whole journey of flavor, the experience, that's what I fucking love. But at the end of it, like, if you do have a good mix of some fruit or bright flavors with some, like, heavy gas funk or something in the foundation, you get more of a round high. You're not as, like, as fucking beat down to the couch. You're not as, like, wired in the brain. Like, I love the mixes of that. Like, Pie-Ho is one of my favorites.
Yeah, that's a fire one. Now, since we have the unexpected guest out there, I got a couple quick questions for you that are Mountain Man Melt specific. When you hear these questions, think about the first strain or two that comes pop into mind, and then we'll kind of like do like a fire round.
All right, let's get it.
So, guys, for this fire round, we just want to do a quick shout out to the sponsor and partner that we had for our Halloween session that brought Jase and I together with Mountain Man Melts here. Catalyst was they just deserve a big shout out. The dispensary and their Hawthorne Lounge where I assist out there. Big shout out to them for hosting us and providing the opportunities and just helping grow brands.
Absolutely.
Now, for this,
I just want to say we couldn't be here without Catalyst for Mountain Man Melts.
Big shout
seriously.
Out. Now, Mountain Man Melts fire round. What is, in your opinion, the heaviest, most sedative dab or sedative rosin you guys have when you think of that?
Sleepy. GMO or Fatso?
GMO, Fatso. Okay, now what would you say is the overall best tasting on the fruity side?
Oh shit! For right now, I'll say Champagne because we've grown it 3 years in a row.
Now, what about for the heavier side?
It would have to be goddamn Government Oasis. Yeah,
it's a solid one. Now, in terms of an ideal temperature to dab at, what should people be looking for?
Depends on size. 600 if you're dabbing fat.
And what range or so within 50 degrees or so if you were going
to I would go in the range of for the general person, let's go 520 to 580.
Wonderful. That's fire. Yeah. That's fire. Now, if you were going to name your starting five, someone was going to go buy 5 grams because they were going to, not max it out because I think they could buy more than that to max it out in California. But if they were going to go just drop, whatever on 5 grams and be super stoked, what would be your starting 5?
For Mountain Man Melts, it would be Moroccan Peaches. It would be Amarillo. it would be tres leches, it would be champagne, and I would say our possum right now. It's going crazy. Those are
That
our
sounds
top five.
fair.
That would be my
That
top five
sounds
right there.
fair. I appreciate you doing that quick little round. Now, the last question I have for you is a pretty simple one. For those people that don't know about Mountain Man Melts, maybe if they're a rosin person or maybe they're a general consumer out there, they smoke some flower, whatever it is, or even they're one of these buyers at a dispensary. What do you feel is important for these groups or these people to know about you, to know about the brand and the products?
I would say the most important thing to know is, again, we're in the mix. We're not a bunch of suits sitting at an office. We're people who love this shit. We're people who've been doing this shit. We're people who will continue doing this shit. And I think the most important thing that any consumer can consider when they're buying their products on the base level is going to be the intention from the people making it. We're not here because we're making money. We're here because we've loved it. We've done it since before it was legal, right? We knew it was right. It just wasn't lawful. But
Yeah.
there's a lot of people now that they got to be, as a consumer, you got to watch out for when you're in the stores, where these people are here just because they can make money now.
Yeah.
That's about it.
Appreciate you sharing that perspective, and it's a great reminder for everybody is you guys are in control of who you choose to support and the money and where you put it. And at least on our end, we definitely encourage you guys to give Catalyst a shot if you guys would like to check out Mountain Man Melts and their variety of rosin. Really encourage you guys to who are terp chasing out there to consider trying these grams here and these future products, these vapes that you guys just launched as well. And so,
Yeah. And if you fucking hate it, just hit me up and tell me.
Yeah, well, where can they do that? Where's your guys' website and social media so they can reach out? Or follow
our social media is at Mountain Man Melts .ca, and then our Instagram page is Mountain Man Melts. Let me just double check, bro. I'm so bad with that part because I'm just so in the field. But I got you right now. Let me give you the website. Yeah, mountainmanmelts.com. Just putting forward. So yeah.
Easy. Yeah. Cool. Well, everybody go visit the website and the Instagram. Be sure to click follow. If you guys can subscribe to something, be sure to tap in and do that. There's a lot of good stuff going on. If you guys want to support and try the product, which I highly recommend, visit Catalyst for sure. We're at the Hawthorne location. I'll be there again on Sunday if y'all want to pull up. Jase, I appreciate you joining.
Appreciate you too, bro.
For those of you guys watching, be sure to like, follow, subscribe, tap in. Jase Windu here, business development, marketing, and sales over at Mountain Man Melts. Really great rosin products, and I'm